Alright, so episode number 5. Taking a more relaxed approach this time. We'll go outside a little bit. We're going to talk about Resistance 3. It's coming up. We're going to talk about the bad thing that happened to Team Bondi. It's why I'm wearing the LA Noir shirt. We're going to talk about high-def collections, and just to see who wants them. I mean, I don't know exactly sure who's buying them. Is it veterans who played the original ones, or are they new gamers who just want to see the new stuff? I'll finish by talking about the upcoming fall lineup, which looks just completely insane. We'll get ready to go here. Alright, so I think the first subject is going to be high-definition collections. We've seen a ton of them. I've got 2 here. As you can see, these are the review copies. One is for God of War Origins, and the other one is for the ICO Shadow, the Colossus collection. And, there's embargoes on these, so I can't review these yet. But I'll be looking at them. They got me thinking, because they came in so fast. I'm trying to think, are these for... Who's going to buy these? Who are the primary consumers? Are they going to be the people who love God of War and love ICO Shadow, the Colossus, and they just want the high-definition versions? The God of War is the PSP versions, and obviously ICO Shadow, the Colossus are on the PS2. Are those going to be the people who buy them? Like, I would want them for my collection. I'd want to be able to say, look, now I have the even better versions. I have the high-def versions of these great games. Or does it really appeal to people who never played the ones that were on the, in this case, on the PSP and the PS2, and they're saying, well, gee, these are going to look better now, so now I want to play them. I'm just wondering what the breakdown is. How many new fans are these bringing in, and how much is just old fans wanting this kind of thing for the collection? And it's everywhere. There's the Beyond Good and Evil high definition ones on the network. We've got the Metal Gear Solid one coming. We've got the Zone of the Enders one coming. We've got a Silent Hill one coming. They just keep pumping them out, which of course leads me to the Final Fantasy thing. If all these other companies can do this, and relatively quickly it seems, with these high def remakes, why can't Square Enix do it? I don't believe that they can't. In fact, I'm almost certain that they can. And in that case, I'm almost certain they would also get some new fans as well as the old ones. You're never going to scare away the old ones with high def stuff. So I mean, these are getting more popular. I keep getting these. So there was the Tomb Raider one. They just keep coming. So I'm hoping that they're going to be something popular for everybody, but I keep thinking it's more for the old-fashioned fans, and people who love these franchises. They get to see them in a new light. That's what I think. But time will tell. All right, the reason we're outside is because it's summer, and I think that we've done articles before about how there's a lot of stereotypes concerning gamers and how they never go outside. They're antisocial. They don't like the sunlight. I think it's important for us to just sort of get out, because as soon as we tell somebody what we like to do, that's kind of like a first thought. It's the first inclination to think, oh, well, this person doesn't do much. And especially if it's like your number one hobby. So to get out is probably something that just kind of clears away, or at least helps to clear away some of the stereotypes and assumptions. And also, games are getting so much more photorealistic. We have these amazing landscapes out, environments and seascapes and forests and everything, and we're always commenting about how beautiful they can be. When, I mean, we have that right outside. We're sort of, in this digital age, kind of forgetting that it's all right there, and we're just trying to recreate what's already there. And of course, we can't pass this, we can't surpass it, it's real, it's here. And so when we're, if it's something like this, and especially if you live in an area where you don't get weather like this all the time, I think it's important to get out. I don't care what you do. Walk up a hill like I'm doing now. Go hiking. It doesn't matter. Find a path. And it sort of offsets it. It makes things better, too. So when you go and you start doing your gaming and you go back and have fun, you relax, it feels better. You feel more well-rounded. It feels like you didn't, sometimes you sit there and play a game all day. It feels almost like you didn't do much. In this case, you're able to just sort of say, well, yeah, I had a decent day. I had a good day off. And, I mean, let's face it, half of leisure entertainment is being active, at least in my eyes it is. So, I know we got a lot of people who do a lot of stuff on the site, and I'd like to see more people do that. Bottom line is, I'm really not capable anymore of sitting in a room and playing a game for 8 hours, because I would miss this. Well,
I've actually heard people say that they'll go outside and be like, for a second they'll be like, wow, you know, the fidelity out here is absolutely incredible. I cannot believe the resolution of that tree. That is just absolutely amazing. I mean, the color, the hue is like so ideal.
Just totally rip them off? We need nature's help in this coding.
We need to figure out what they did with their engine, because seriously, this is pretty nuts.
Close to this? Why are we even trying to emulate it? Just get out there.
Seriously.
We got holding Resistance Fall of Man, the original. Still one of my favorite games. And Resistance 3 is coming, and probably by the time this video is up, we're probably just about here. And I did an article about this before. I was a little worried that it wouldn't do so well, just because everyone's saving up for Modern Warfare 3 and Battlefield 3. And in terms of graphics and media footage, we've seen a lot of people seem to think that the other two outstrip Resistance 3. I've been in the beta. I've seen how it looks. It's certainly true that the other ones have something ahead of Resistance 3 in terms of technical achievement, but I think there's a significant artistry in Resistance that's really special and we don't get anywhere else. Also, there's a fluidity and a solidarity to this sort of gameplay for a shooter that it's hard to really put into words, but I can say that after playing the beta, I think Resistance 3 feels more like Fall of Man than Resistance 2, which seemed faster, more like Call of Duty. There does seem to be that sort of weight, that sort of slowness to it that people really liked, and I liked in Fall of Man. So maybe because it's unique, maybe because it's more of an individual type shooter and it's not really a military shooter, maybe those things will help it succeed. I really hope it does. Insomniac's a great studio, and they deserve all sorts of rewards. Ratchet and Clank is just another thing they do that's great, but Resistance really shouldn't be overlooked. The last thing is that because it comes out September 6th, and they gotta wait, Battlefield 3 comes out October 25th, so shooter fans, really, this is the only thing between then, you know, in that span of time. So that's the other reason I hope to see good sales for it, but cross your fingers on this one. Alright, I've been thinking about this ever since I saw it, the unfortunate thing that happened with Team Bondi. That's the reason I'm wearing the LA Noire shirt. It's such a great game, and usually when they produce a great game that is also a huge financial success, or at least it seemed like it with 55 million shipped, they're toasting this with champagne, and these guys are gone. They didn't even really talk to anybody about it, and they were just, it was quick, gone. And I'm just, it's depressing. Usually this doesn't happen with developers, and I don't know what happened. I guess Rockstar has the rights to a few things, but I don't quite understand how it happened. It must have happened really fast. It must have been a terrible work environment. As soon as everybody was done, that's it. Get me out of here. It's just unfortunate. These are the types of things that really, it's unfortunate, and I hope everyone finds good jobs. I'm not really sure why I'm standing in front of a pile of wood, but we're going to use it, I guess. Whatever. But the last thing I wanted to talk about is the fall lineup. It's always so just, there's too many games. I'm really hoping that they start to just sort of spread it out a little bit. And then the first quarter always is jammed full because there's a lot of great games that get scared and run away from things like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, and they get into the first quarter. I'm hoping to have a little, you know, the summertime, we don't have that much. I mean, Catherine in July, you know, we had NCAA football, and, you know, Deus Ex is coming up in the next few weeks. That's really about it. The number of games that release in October and November is insane. I actually think it might be just as many or more than the entire rest of the year. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for now. We have this sort of outdoors theme. I still have wood sticking in my back. The other one sort of made sense. I don't know what this is. But for the next time, I think what we're going to do is we're going to be right in the fall lineup. So we got a ton of stuff to talk about. Also, make sure to visit the site because we're going to do a few giveaways. We're going to be talking to a few people. I'm waiting on those questions for Final Fantasy 13-2. We'll also be doing a Q&A soon with the guys from who made Dead Island Techland. So stay tuned for that stuff. Oh, and for all you RPG fans, we should be getting some questions answered for White Knight Chronicles 2, which is September 13th, I believe. So thanks to everybody involved. See you next time.